Last week we were working on lesson 3. You press the enter key. You check on your sonograph for me. As a specialist, I see 20 classes. I teach 500 or so students. It's a lot to keep track of. I have a paperless classroom, and I think that's fairly important in a one-to-one digital environment, really leveraging technology for everything it can do and using it to help kids be organized, for me to be organized, to have accountability. I do see it's like my one-stop shop. I used to just have a bunch of binders and papers, and as you see, I've tried to minimize a lot of that. I just really wanted a way to have everything in one place. I like this one because I see kids once a week, so I can easily toggle back and see what did we do last week. And you know, the expectation for us is to provide this personalized learning experience where we know each child as an individual. Even just learning 500 kids' names, you know, it's super helpful to be like your name and picture, and now I have a name to the face. So I really felt like this tool has helped me to do a better job at that. It has my schedule set up, all the weeks of the year. I have my lesson plans in there. I have my grade book in there. I can keep notes on students. I can take anecdotal evidence like photos and video.
I like that you're using the diary feature as a way to store your lessons. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's a nice take on it.
I like the fact that you have access to your lesson plans, your grade book, and everything's in one place. So it seems like an easy way to, have information on students and keep yourself organized.
And then for the numeric grade, I put just a simple numeric grade out of the total number of puzzles. And then it does the calculations for me. This is another thing that is amazing. What should we always do when we're starting a new lesson activity?
You go to Grow and set a goal.
Grow is a goal setting and reflection tool. This is a student-facing tool. It's not just teacher-facing, it's teacher-facing and student-facing. Here they're actively involved in their growth mindset process, and it tracks it all and keeps it in one place for them.
When you start new things, you have to go on Grow, and it already says the thing you're doing, and then you click that, and then you just set your goal.
Everyone uses it to either set goals for a lesson you want to do, add score to from Google Classroom, or reflect on a lesson you did.
The goal makes me feel more confident in what I do.
When I reflect, you can see what your strategies were, and then you can use those strategies on the ones you're stuck on.
The way I started and what I think really got them hooked was talking about it in a broader sense, about how we set goals for anything we want to accomplish. I use examples that they could connect to their real lives, like learning to ride a bike or, learning to walk. That's what we're really trying to do here in school. It's beyond learning some technology skills. We want to teach them to think and teach them to be independent learners.
Oh, that's fun.
I tell them that I still ask for help all the time and that it really takes a team. No one makes it on their own. I love it using collaboration and communication. I post everything that we work on Google Classroom. So I got my Google Classroom app here, which also allows me to differentiate, which is great. So I had different assignments posted for different kids. We will go over what objectives they're going to be learning in the unit. So we do that together, and we kind of talk it out, and I ask if they have any questions, and they do a check-in. How are they feeling? And if they're not feeling good, I can check it with them and find out why they're not feeling good. It affects learning. Okay, great. You set goals. For each lesson activity, they set a goal, and it'll show up to them as a color-coded scale, and they can choose get close, meet, or exceed. And then they can write a little bit about how they might plan to achieve that goal. And there's also a link to sample strategies, so if they're not sure what strategies to use, they can look at some examples to get ideas. And that is customizable, so we've actually been building our own strategies, and kids have been contributing and adding to that strategy bank, which is great because I think it's really giving them some ownership. That's a good one. I think I'm going to add that to the list of strategies. In that sense, we're like a learning community and we're helping each other.
Can you give me a yes in sign language?
All these kids are working on different things. I've asked them to let me know and communicate with me when they've completed something. And I can come and look at their screen, or I can look at my screen and look at their progress, and then I will grade it and post their grades on Google Classroom. I like to do it with the kids because then they're there and they can see exactly what I'm doing. And I'll also just toggle over on my iPad to the Classroom app, the Google Classroom app, type in their grade and send it to them immediately. So I've told them verbally, and I've also recorded it for them in a place where they know to get it, and then they'll take that grade and they have to actually type it themselves, which really makes it click for them. And then they can go and immediately log it, reflect on it, think about what strategies they need to use or that they did use that are successful. And they can move on to the next thing or do a fast finisher activity. I think there's definitely value in tracking what concepts and skills you've mastered, because that's really what's going to matter in life, not your 90 or not your 60. I think it's training their brain to be in that cycle of this goal setting, checking in and evaluating, reflecting, using strategies, making changes, adjusting, building their confidence, and help kids to know what concepts and what skills they're learning and where they are in their continuum towards mastery of those skills and those concepts.